What up, what up? Welcome on into Inside Baylor Sports, the official daily podcast of Baylor Athletics. On today's show, we look ahead to the green and gold weekend at Baylor Athletics. Davis Ovard from Baylor Men's Golf will stop by to preview the Big 12 championships coming up. Plus, we'll talk some spring football as Saturday marks the conclusion of the season. All that and more coming up on the show. Don't forget, you can catch Inside Baylor Sports every weekday. You can also watch the video version for free over at BaylorPlus.com and on the Baylor Athletics YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, rate, and review the pod. It's Friday, April 19th, 2024. Justin Hoff alongside good friend and the Baylor Bear insider, Jerry Hill. Jerry, a big weekend ahead for Baylor Athletics. Anything that sticks out to you?
Well, I think always when you only have a couple of them, and actually this year they do wind up having three. One of the other ones got canceled. But I think a home track meet always it's a big deal for me because I'm a track guy. I really like track. So the Michael Johnson Invitational, and it always attracts really good field. So yeah, I think there's 25 teams here this year. That's exciting to me. But obviously, just so many events. That's the thing that jumps off the page is just you got baseball and softball home, obviously the home track meet, spring football wrapping up. I mean, just so many things, Justin. It's an exciting weekend. It seems like we have a lot of these green and gold weekends, but this one is really kind of jam-packed with a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's a weekend where we have all kinds of events at home. So it's a busy weekend, obviously. Baseball taking on Kansas this weekend, softball taking on UCF, the tennis teams in the Big 12 championships down there in Stillwater, should say up there in Stillwater. Golf going on. We'll have some golf talk here at the end of the show, but also on Saturday is the completion of the spring football season at McLean Stadium, at 12 o'clock on Saturday. But, we've had an opportunity to see a lot of highlights and to see the team in person some. And when we think about this team, obviously the transfer portal still going on, and there may be, a few tweaks to the roster before it's all said and done in August. But, Jerry, we saw a lot of new players that are on the field now for Baylor sporting the green and gold. Any that really highlight to you, and any that you say, man, this guy, he's somebody Baylor fans are going to have to watch out for next fall?
I mean, the easy one would be the quarterback, DeQuan Finn. I mean, he's battling with Sawyer Robertson for the starting job, but that's one that kind of jumps off the page as a, MAC conference, offensive player of the year. So, kind of more that dual threat guy that if things break down up front, he can, make something out of nothing, but he would be a really big one, I think, kind of to start with, Justin. But there's a lot. I mean, I feel like there's a guy, at least one guy pretty much at every position on the field. And that's what excites me. I mean, when you think about, going to the wide receiver position, I guess it was Texas State transfer, Ashton Hawkins. Did I say Ashlyn? Is that right? Ashton?
Yep.
Yes. Ashton Hawkins. I mean, that's exciting. I mean, he's a guy that has put up some big numbers and certainly gives you another guy, in that room. But then Jamal Bell, I think, is a guy that could really make a big impact, in the return game. So, a couple of faces there. I like the way that wide receiver room has shaped up, Justin, just in terms of numbers. But really, you've got a lot of experience in there as well. With guys, Ketron Jackson from last year, transfer from Arkansas. There's one guy. But, I mean, like I said, there's so many numbers. Armani Winfield, Hal Presley, Monterey Baldwin, Jordan Neighbors, just so many guys. So I think they're really strong in position. I think the most experienced position on the team. And I should mention Josh Cameron. I think he's a really special talent, former walk-on. But, I like that position. I like all the experience there. But then bringing in two guys with experience at other places, I think really just kind of strengthens the room. So it makes that room really special.
Yeah, and I'll go over to the defensive side of the football. Keaton Thomas, number 40. He's going to be a guy at linebacker that you're going to have to watch out for. Redshirt sophomore transfer from Jacksonville, Florida. And then Kendrick Simpkins, safety, I think those are two guys, number 16, 6 foot, 202 pounds, coming from Western Kentucky. Those are two guys to watch out for. And Michael Trigg, if you're talking offense and a tight end and you can still use it, in terms of Cal football last year, Jake Spavital showed that he could use a tight end. So Michael Trigg, a big body tight end to help replace what we had last year with Drake Dabney going up north to TCU. So, it's going to be fun to watch, and a lot of downtime, certainly, for fans, to think about the roster and think about the team. And you think about the schedule next year, you only get 6 home games, so we need to be at every single home game. You think about there's 365 days in a year, Jerry. 6 days. That's all we're asking to come out to watch football. It's not an all-day thing. It can be if you tailgate and you stay there, or if you just come to watch the football game and get out of there. I mean, that could be a 5-6 hour a day, but just 6 days.
Well, and there's 366 this year, Justin. So there's one extra day this year.
Okay. No excuse not to get my stuff done then.
Yeah, that's right. You got an extra day. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Last year had 8 home games and just a lot. But, this year only having 6 home games. So there's limited opportunities, and you do want to make the best of those, and you want to make an impact in the game. That's how you make an impact in the game, is showing up. So love to see it filled up with green and gold this fall.
Yeah, and another adjustment for this team is obviously a different play caller on both sides of the football. When you think about defense, Dave Aranda and Jake Spavital, of course, on the offense. And 60% of the coaching staff is new as well. And so there's going to be some different pieces in terms of, game planning and input and how you talk, in those staff meetings and what that all looks like. And so I just think there's a lot of excitement, and I'm really optimistic about next fall and putting, some new pieces out there, Jerry. And a big part of that is the coaching staff.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, you look on the offensive side, obviously Jake Spavital coming in as the new offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach. I think he could make a big impact, just a different offense. I mean, it's going to be a wide open offense. I think you're going to see a lot more throwing the ball down the field, things like that. I think, it's funny because, obviously with Coach Grimes, the tight end was very involved, and he used multiple tight ends. I'm just going to say right now, the tight end is not, it's not, maybe not as big a part, but it is a part, because I've seen enough practice that they're really using those guys, and maybe more in routes, less in the blocking schemes. But yeah, I think they're going to definitely use those guys. And I think they're going to use the whole field. They're going to use obviously downfield, but, sideline to sideline, things like that. So different blocking scheme as well. So you're talking about the offensive linemen, the ones that were already here, they've had to kind of learn a new system. Receivers, they have the same coach, but again, a different offense. Tight ends have had to get adjusted to it. So a lot of adjusting going on. But I think I think there's an excitement about the offense, just because, there's 4 new faces on that side. Jared Anderson with the tight ends. Keenan with the running back. So I think it's exciting, just because I think there's always, you get a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a bump when you have new faces, and there's 4 new faces on the offensive side. So I think, talking to those offensive guys, I think they're excited about the changes. And, obviously it's kind of taken a little bit of time to get used to it, but I think they're excited about this offense.
Well, every good coach and every good program adapts to their personnel. And when you got a guy like 6'4", 245 pounds of Michael Trigg, you're going to find a way to get him the football some way, somehow. And so I think that's a piece to what you're talking about. And another thing was, when we think about Dave Aranda's first press conference, or some of the first times he talked, going all the way back to 2020, he talked about defending every blade of grass. And now we're talking about not only on defense with him, calling plays, offensively, though, using every blade of grass or turf. And this is an offense, when you got spread, you can fly that football around, deep shots, quick out passes. Everything in between, all sorts of different running. I think this is an offense that can use every blade of grass.
I like it. I can tell the energy and excitement from you.
I like
Every
some
blade of
offense.
grass, every blade of grass.
You like that line? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of Remember the Titans. Not 1 inch. We won't give them 1 inch. So, yeah. So now your term is every blade of grass. We're gonna use every blade of grass. So yeah, and I do. I think this offense will do that. And man, and we haven't talked about it enough yet, but Dave Aranda on that defensive side, and specifically working with those linebackers. Man, how exciting is that? To know that a guy that one of the best defensive minds in the game, that's the guy that's working with you. I mean, those linebackers got to be just giddy about that. Like this is the guy, this is the guru, and he's out there coaching you up.
Follow Baylor Plus today on X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. It's the official content network of Baylor Athletics. Think Netflix for your Baylor Bears. Download the app on your mobile device and sign up for your free 7-day trial today at BaylorPlus.com. It's now time to welcome in Davis Ovard, freshman on the Baylor men's golf team. First off, Davis, before we get into previewing the upcoming Big 12 championships, let's talk about your first season and your first year at Baylor. What's the experience been like for you so far?
Yeah, it's been great. Fall semester, I kind of struggled early on, didn't play great. I played all right in the Big 12 match play when we lost in the championship match to Texas. But I didn't play great for much of the fall. And then spring semester, I started playing a lot better. I played well in Cabo, and then the tournament in Houston, and then obviously the Aggie. We played really well and got the win there. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm trending in the right direction. So I'm just trying to keep that going.
What's it been like as a freshman? I got a little bit of age on you. I'm 36, so maybe twice your age. But I can think about what it was like as a freshman for me, where to get books, how do you get around campus, classes, meals. I mean, how's that all been going for you?
Yeah, it's definitely different, balancing class and golf and everything. But it's been, I mean, to be honest, I haven't really had many issues. It's been pretty good. In high school, I got out of school at 12 every day and then went and played golf in the afternoon. So it's kind of similar to that. So I was lucky to do that in high school, kind of a similar schedule in that way, but it's definitely more intense. But yeah, I mean, I haven't had too many issues, so it's been good.
Okay, I can sign up for that, man. I like that schedule that you were working with before there.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not a very good golfer. I can do some putt. That's about it.
Yeah.
So, a lot more like Billy Madison out there on the course, just too impatient and overreact to my shots. Not a good okay, so looking at you and just this season, as we said, just a freshman, what's it been like to playing for Coach Mike McGraw? You think about he just had his 50th career win as far as a tournament. I mean, we're talking about a living legend, one of the best collegiate coaches in golf history. What's it like playing for him?
Yeah, it's his birthday today, by the way. So happy birthday, Coach. But I mean, in recruiting, whenever he recruited me, I wasn't really interested in Baylor. I kind of grew up a big Texas fan. Didn't really have interest in Waco at all. But getting to know him, I was like, okay, I want to come play for this guy. Like, this guy's great. I mean, everyone you talk to, they speak like so highly of him, and it's just like everyone knows how much of a legend he is. But so I wanted to come play for him. He's pretty much the whole reason I'm here. And it's been great. He's been amazing, just helping me deal with some of my mental errors on the course. I used to, not be the best mentally on the course, but he's helped me with that. And then also just kind of finding my place in school. He's helped me with that too. So I feel like my progression from fall to spring is definitely because of him, and I've started playing better because of that. And so, yeah, I'm super thankful for him and our other coaches as well. It's been great.
Hey, we're glad we converted you. Okay, to the
Yeah,
green and gold, and the city of Waco is growing, and it's not the same
it
place
is.
as it once was. So there's a lot of fun to be had here. Of course, you're from just up the road in Frisco, Texas. A lot of Texans on the team. Believe it or not, there was a time when the whole team was all from Texas. This year's team's got some mix in there, but do you
Mhm.
guys give it to some of the outsiders? Hey, you're not really a Texan.
Yes, we do. Especially my roommate, Pato or Patricio. He's from Mexico, and so we definitely give it to him a little bit as the only international guy. Even though he's not far at all, he's closer to Waco than some of the other guys are. But yeah, we definitely give it to him and the other guys a little bit. And I love being from Texas, so I'll brag about it all day long. But yeah.
Yeah, a lot closer than Tyler Eisenhart, who's from Geneva, Illinois. So, okay, yeah, just keeping doing some geography on the podcast here. But yeah, Johnny Kiefer, another one of the guys in the team. I mean, Johnny has been around for a long time, as I'm sure you guys let him know. What's
Oh
it
yeah.
like having a guy like that, though? I mean, in his 5th year, very accomplished player.
Yeah, obviously he's a great player, and I feel like most of us look up to him for leadership, especially me and the younger guys. I feel like, but he's also helped me and taught me some stuff along the way. I mean, he also told me that on the course I used to like complain a lot and stuff like that, and so I had to stop doing that. And then, I mean, we just played together actually in Arizona at our last tournament. We were paired together last round, and we both played great. And it's just super fun seeing him compete. He's a massive competitor, super competitive, and so it's nice seeing that side of him and kind of being like, oh, this guy wants to win really badly. And so I feel like it helps motivate the team, and he's a great leader for us. And so, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, on full circle. I'm sure if you talked to Johnny 3-4 years ago, he was saying that about somebody else. So take that, hold on to that, because there'll be a day where you'll be the same as Johnny, as in, kind of giving back to those young guys and making them grow up. You guys grew up in a big way in the Aggie Invitational down there in Bryan. Of course, Texas A&M, their home course, and you defeated the Aggies and the rest of the field. What was it like to win that tournament?
Yeah, I couldn't be happier to win that tournament. I mean, I told you I grew up a Texas fan, and I've always disliked the Aggies a lot. And so when we went down there, I mean, I wanted to beat them bad. So we got that done. It was really good for the team. We were struggling a little bit in the beginning of the spring, and so I feel like that was a huge step for us to win that tournament. And it's kind of a big momentum switch for us heading into postseason. And so I think it was huge for us, because now we know that we can win these tournaments, and so it's definitely given us a push of confidence that we know that we can win, and so we're going to go do that.
Speaking of postseason, the Big 12 championships get underway on Monday. Whispering Pines over in Trinity, Texas, just outside the Houston area. Thoughts on this course? Any experience, any opportunities there on the course before?
I've never actually been there, so this is my first time, but I'm super excited. I know all the other guys have seen it, so they'll help me learn it. Just like at the Aggie, at Traditions, I had never seen it before either. They helped me learn it. And so, yeah, I'm kind of looking up to them again to help teach me. But I mean, I've heard it's the best course in Texas, so I'm super excited. I mean, I've only heard great things about it. And they've also told me that it'll set up well for my game. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's always what you want to hear, even though if it may not set up, you want somebody to tell you that, right?
Yeah.
And obviously you guys do a practice round. I've been out there years ago. I was doing some coverage with y'all, and that practice round, I mean, it's critical, right? You walk the ground, you get to see the fairways, the greens, see how they play. I mean, without the practice round, for someone like yourself, you'd be going in pretty much blind.
Oh yeah. I mean, it would be brutal without a practice round, especially never seeing the course. It's definitely key. You got to learn where to hit your shots, how the greens are rolling, all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, that's probably the most important part, to be honest, because if you don't learn anything from your practice round, then you shouldn't even be there. So yeah, but yeah, it'll definitely help a lot, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, we'll finishing up here. So I'm looking at the headshots on BaylorBears.com. Great site, great place to go on the roster page for men's golf. You can check out the coaching staff. You can look over to NIL there. There's social media, all kinds of different things on there. But one thing I noticed, the headshots, content day. And there's a whole lot of flow going on with the hair, and yourself included. You probably have the best one on there. However, now I hear you got a haircut, you got a hat, you're hiding some of this, but what's going on with the team's flow?
It's yeah, we all had long hair a little bit, like back then, but I think everyone's got it cut since then. And I just got mine cut yesterday. I was kind of the only one still with it going, but yeah, it was too out of control. But I loved it. I mean, I'm going to grow it out again. But I love the flow. I think it's great. And I wanted a mullet for a little bit there, but the girlfriend wouldn't let me do that. So couldn't do that. Yeah.
That's fair enough. I got a wife. I can attest to that. I understand that. Okay. Looking at who's got the best hair on the team right now? Put you on the spot.
Me. I mean, I want to say, if I said not me, I would say Luke Morgan, probably. When he grows it out. When it's short, it's not great. But I think when he gets it longer, he's got some nice hair. So.
Okay, great head of hair. And a few years ago, Mike McGraw, so they win a tournament, and he had, I don't know, I guess made a, hey, if we win, you can shave my head. And I was out there doing some video coverage of that. And let's just say, we want you guys to win, but let's never do that again. Okay. It was just not a good, and I'm very happy that it grew back. I was getting worried about that with Coach McGraw. I mean, we're talking right down to the skin nearly. It was way too short.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. So I'm going to ask him about that today and see what he has to say.
Yeah, I would not recommend it. So let's not do that again. But hey, let's win the Big 12 championship. Good luck to you guys. Appreciate you. Glad you're a Baylor Bear, and we'll see you down the road.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Fun talking with Davis, someone who's good at golf. You know, I don't get a chance to do that all the time when I got Jerry Hill on the other side of me. Jerry, you got to go back and listen to Ashleen Kaur's interview because I took a shot at you in the interview. A friendly shot. Okay. But nonetheless, Davis, just a freshman. He wants to go into finance business. He's going to be all of our bosses someday soon. I can just feel it. I mean, this is a guy who's just a freshman, really, really sharp, and excited for them to get going next week in the Big 12 championships. As for the women's golf team, they wrapped up day one on Thursday, and pretty solid effort for them, Jerry. They're tied for fourth right now, 8 over, 6 shots back of the leaders in Texas.
Yeah, and Rosie Belsham, up there among the top leaders in the top 10. So, yeah, good start for them. Not that far off the lead. So I do think it was a good first day for them. That's kind of the key in the first day is you just don't want to lose the tournament on that first day. You want to stay in there. You want to be up near the top of the leaderboard, kind of within striking distance. And I think that's what they did the first day is they're right there, and I think they can, even move up more. But, good opening day for them. On a layout that they're kind of familiar with. Coach Goebel talked about this being, really close to what they play at Ridgewood. So they're familiar with the kind of layout and the type of course it is. So I expect them to play well. And like I said, that was a good start. And you just want to, go these next 2 days and hey, go win a Big 12 championship. Might as well. You're that close right now. Go win a Big 12 championship.
That'll do it for today's edition of Inside Baylor Sports, a Sport and Story production. Thanks for listening. For Jerry Hill, I'm Justin Hoff. Have a great Friday, and Sic 'em Bears.
Sic 'em Bears.